Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do because it's going to be about one of my favorite topics, which is nude lipsticks. I pulled 23 nude lipsticks from my personal makeup collection. I'm going to be talking a little bit about each shade, showing swatches on my arms and also my lips. So we definitely have a lot to cover in today's video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so I was planning to do a dupes video on these 6 Jaclyn Cosmetics lipsticks that I purchased. My original video has since been taken down. I do have an update video that did go up. I kind of thought for a hot second I might take that one down too, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it as is. And I mentioned that after I finished filming my first impression swatches video, I spent a lot of time trying to find dupes for the 6 that I had purchased, and I wasn't really sure what to do then. When I filmed the update video, I said, would you guys still want to see a dupes video? Like, what should I do? Tell me what's going on. And so many people said that you still wanted to see a dupes video, but a lot of people also suggested that they would like to see a pretty wide range of nude lipsticks, and so I decided that that could be something fun and a good idea, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was trying to look for the dupes for the 6 that I purchased from Jaclyn Cosmetics, I was actually having a pretty tough time. I wasn't finding a ton of exact dupes in my collection. So when I started seeing people asking for more of a wider range of dupes or similar, you know, nude lipstick shades, I thought, okay, so that's a pretty fun idea. So that's how I decided to make this video. So again, I have 23 lipsticks, and I kind of go from some of the lightest nudes that I have in my collection up to the ones that are pretty dark in my collection as well. So again, I'll be swatching them, talking a little bit about the shade, you know, the undertone, just kind of my thoughts on them. But yeah, this is a lot, but I'm excited for it because, like I said, I love lipsticks, I love nude lipsticks, so I'm really excited to show you 23 lipsticks. So first up, I actually have a lipstick from Stilazzi. If you guys are not familiar with the brand Stilazzi, I do have quite a bit of products from them, and they've recently sent me over some lipsticks to try. I think a really cool thing about their lipsticks is they have both cream and matte finishes, and the names are the same in there. So I'm actually going to be swatching everything from the matte lips because personally matte lips are kind of more of my favorite style. So when I got both scent matte and creams, I immediately gravitated towards the mattes, and since the shades are the same, I decided to put the cream lipsticks aside for a future giveaway. I do a lot of giveaways here on my channel and Instagram and Twitter and all of that. So the ones that I'm going to be swatching today are matte. I will kind of point out the formulas, ones that I think maybe are, you know, pretty similar to the one from Jaclyn Cosmetics if you really did want that formula. But the ones here, and I have quite a few from Stilazzi actually because they just came out with a bunch of nudes, but these ones are in the matte finish. So the first one that I have here is the shade Birthday Suit. My poor hand, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have been swatching, it seems like 4 days with these lipsticks, so my arm's looking a little bit in rough shape. But Birthday Suit, I will be doing close-ups of all the swatches as well, and again showing on my lips. Birthday Suit is a very, very pale nude, so if you were looking for something like of the palest shades that Jaclyn Cosmetics was coming out, this one in Birthday Suit is obviously very, very light, very, very nude. It is pretty nude on my lips, but it's a really nice, I have my notes written down in front of me, it's a really nice light beige, but it has just a hint of peach in there as well, like a little bit of a peach undertone. But I also think that it's a pretty on the neutral side as well. But that one is Birthday Suit from Stilazzi. Next up, I actually have a liquid lipstick. This is from Lawless Beauty. So I just kind of have a mixture in here of my liquid lips, cream lipsticks, and also matte lipsticks. So this one here from Lawless Beauty is a liquid lipstick. I really love the Lawless Beauty liquid lipstick formula. I definitely recommend it. This shade here is in Cameron. This one is a light pink nude. The Lawless liquid lipsticks smell so good. I'm not gonna lie, they smell so great. And this one here is a light pink nude, so you can see it next to Birthday Suit that it is just more on the pink side and just like a hint darker than Birthday Suit, but it is still really, really pale. Again, on me, it's a little bit too light. A lot of times when I wear Cameron, I wear it as kind of like a lip topper, or kind of in the center of my lips. That's typically how I wear Cameron versus all over my lips, but still a really nice shade, again, if you're looking for like a very pale pink lipstick. Next up, I have another matte lipstick from Stilazzi. This one is in the shade Pop Fizz Clink. So again, this one is a pretty light on me. This one is more of a nude beige. So you can see kind of my 3 lighter lipsticks here, but that one's more of a nude beige, and again, a very neutral undertone on this one, in my opinion. But that again is another Stilazzi, which are available in the matte or cream formula. Next up, I have the shade Stripped. This is from MAC. I believe this was a limited edition shade, but MAC Stripped is again very, very light, very pale on me. I generally don't wear this one again by itself. I typically will, kind of my favorite way to wear Stripped is to do a little bit of a darker nude lip liner and then also add a lip gloss on top for Stripped. So Stripped I think is also very neutral, but it has just like a hint of warmth to it also. But I think that it's a really nice shade. Again, if you are a little bit lighter than me, a little bit paler than me, I think this would be a really nice nude on you. Again, for me, it's just a little bit on the light side, but still a really pretty lipstick. And this one, Stripped, is one of the matte lipsticks. Next up, I have another one here from Stilazzi. This one is in the shade Sending Nudes. I was wearing this one in a video recently, and I really quite liked it. So Sending Nudes is described as a nude pink. It's got a little bit of pink in there, like a little hint of brown, and also a little bit more of a warm undertone. But I think that shade's really beautiful. Again, I was wearing it in a video recently, and I thought it looked really nice. Next up, I have the shade Stark Naked, and this is from Urban Decay. I have had this shade for a long time, and I have talked about this shade for a long time. I really, really like this nude on me. Oh, I'm gonna have to start moving my swatches. I am not a lipstick swatcher extraordinaire. I'm also not like a makeup artist. I haven't studied makeup or anything like that, so I'm just kind of giving my thoughts on these lipsticks and all of that. So I just wanted to like throw that out there at you. But I really enjoy Stark Naked. It has a little bit of peachiness to it, which I just think is so beautiful. But again, Stark Naked, that's been one of my favorite nudes for quite some time. I've had a lot of the Urban Decay Comfort Mattes, which is one of my favorite formulas from Urban Decay, and Stark Naked is one that I've continually recommended because I think it's really beautiful. Next up, I'm going to move over to another liquid lipstick. This is from Ofra Cosmetics. Ofra Cosmetics again has some of my favorite liquid lipsticks. They are very long wearing, very comfortable. One of my favorite shades that has been a favorite shade for a while is in Manila. If you like a really nice, once again, kind of just more of a neutral undertone, I think that you would really like Manila. And this one is a little bit more kind of just of that neutral nude is how it's described. And again, I think that's a really great way to describe it. So I think that's a big reason why I enjoy Manila so much. It's just like one of my perfect nudes. Again, for my skin tone, we're all going to be different. And I kind of really liked the challenge of trying to find my really, really light nudes to my really, really dark nudes and kind of, you know, show, like it was fun when I was putting all the swatches on my hands a little bit earlier and taking photos of it. I just thought that was kind of fun. But we're kind of getting into like my sweet spot where it comes to nudes, and definitely Manila from Ofra. This has been a favorite of mine. I've actually gone through an entire tube of one of my Manilas from Ofra. That's how much I enjoy it. So big fan of that lipstick. Next up, I have just this little mini guy. This is from Honeycomb, or this is from Bite Beauty, and it is in the shade Honeycomb. And mine is getting so far down there. I'm trying to be like so gentle when I swatch it because Honeycomb is about over for me. But dang it, I went the wrong way. But that one, let me make that a little bit better here. So this last one here is the Honeycomb from Bite Beauty. Again, this one to me has a very neutral undertone to it. It's described as a nude beige, and again, Honeycomb is a big favorite of mine. I just have a little mini here so you don't get as much product, but like I said, I am almost through with that one because I've worn it so much. Next up, I have one from Huda Beauty. This is one of her demi matte liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Day Slayer. I enjoy this nude so much. Again, we're kind of like in my personal sweet spot of nude lipsticks at the moment. It's again a little bit more on the neutral side, a little bit more of a neutral undertone, but also just like a little bit of pink in there as well. And ooh, Day Slayer just does something to me. The demi matte formula doesn't dry down completely. It doesn't look completely matte on the lips, but it is it leans a little bit more on the mattifying side, but a little bit of a cream. It's a really cool formula. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm a big fan of this one, and Day Slayer has been a favorite nude for quite some time. Next up, I have the shade Skillz. This is from Milk Makeup. This is their reformulated lip color. So they used to have these. They actually came out with new packaging and a new formula. This one here is Skillz. Swatches are getting pretty out of hand, but this one actually reminds me a little bit of the Jaclyn Cosmetics formula. I think the Jaclyn Cosmetics was a lot creamier. This is still very creamy. It has just like a hint of matte to it, but if you liked something that was like super smooth like that and super creamy to apply, this one I thought was pretty similar. I have another favorite of mine. This one is Charlotte Tilbury. This is in Pillowtalk. So Pillowtalk is more on the pink nude side, but once again, we're still kind of in my sweet spot here when it comes to lipsticks. It is just a favorite of mine. So this last one here is Charlotte Tilbury in Pillowtalk. A little bit more on like the neutral pink side, I would say, but such a beautiful color. I really like this formula. Again, it's the Matte Revolution formula, so it's a little bit more matte. Again, where my personal preference lies, but Pillowtalk, she definitely comes with me pretty much everywhere. I always have that shade in my purse because it is so beautiful. Next up, going back to a Lawless Beauty liquid lipstick. This, again, is one of my favorite shades. This is in George. So George is kind of more of a taupe nude, but it's still such a beautiful shade. This one has a little bit more of a warmer undertone in there as well. But George, George is one of my main men. I love that one. Again, we're still kind of in my sweet spot for my personal favorite nudes. The next one I have here is from Dose of Colors. This is in Truffle. If you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know I have a lot of love for Truffle. So Truffle is more of it's a light brown, but it also has more of a pink undertone. I think Truffle is really, really beautiful. Once again, one of my personal favorite nudes, and I'm a big fan of the Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. Next up, I have a shade from Colourpop. This is in Appy. So Appy is described as a warm pink beige. This is one of the Luxe lipsticks, and this is the cream formula. These again remind me a lot of the Jaclyn Cosmetics. Very smooth, very creamy. Again, these aren't my personal favorite lipsticks because once again, I actually prefer the matte formula in the Luxe lipsticks, but if you were looking for something really similar to Jaclyn Cosmetics but for a more affordable price, Colourpop has some good options in there. Next up, I have a liquid lipstick from Persona Cosmetics. This is in OG. Once again, I highly recommend the Persona Cosmetics liquid lipstick formula. I think that they are great, and OG is one of my favorites from her liquid lipstick line. So this one is also more of a brown nude, and then a little bit more on the warm toned side as well. So that last one there is OG from Persona Cosmetics. Next up, I have another one from Stilazzi. This one is in the shade Get Fizzy. This one is more on your cool tone side, and it's a light brown, but you can see it's pretty cool toned, especially compared to what we already have going on here. So if you are more into that cool toned lipstick, that light brown, kind of the first time I swatched it, it almost gave me kind of like grayish vibes, but not like too much, if that makes any sense. But I thought this one was a really cool shade, so I definitely wanted to include it because I don't have a lot like this in my collection. So this one from Stilazzi again is in Get Fizzy. Next up, I have a lipstick from Too Faced. This is in the shade Sex on the Peach. Very interesting shade name. There's also like quite the fragrance on these lipsticks, like a very peachy fragrance. If you don't love that, I definitely wouldn't recommend these because you can smell them from the moment that you open the lipsticks. But this is a really beautiful shade as well. Looking at my notes, I have written down the description on it was a spiced mauve, which I thought was a really interesting, like I've never heard a lipstick I don't think be described as a spiced mauve, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, yeah, actually that does make sense. A little bit of like a purple undertone in there, a little bit more on the mauve side, but also brown at the same time. These are more of a matte formula as well, but I really do enjoy Sex on the Peach when I kind of want a little bit of a darker nude on me. This one is a really nice shade. It's just really embarrassing when you're wearing it and you go to the nail salon and then the nail gal asks what shade lipstick that is and you have to say it out loud and the whole salon laughs at you. that's really happened. Next up, I have another one from Huda Beauty. This is one of her matte lipsticks, like the Power Matte Bullets that have come out recently. This is the shade Joyride, and I really like this shade. It's quite beautiful. This one is a little bit more on the cool toned side as well, and this is described as a dusty rose. So this last one here is that Huda Beauty in Joyride. Really beautiful. Once again, I picked this up recently from Sephora and I quite like it. I like the formula, more on the matte side once again, but still really creamy when you apply it, not too drying. I've been really impressed with these from Huda Beauty. So next I have a shade from Covergirl. This is one of their exhibitionist lipsticks. This is in the shade Trending, and this is a demi matte lipstick. I've talked about this one quite a bit on my channel because I've been very impressed with this lipstick. Just the way that it feels, the way that it applies, the way it lasts. Again, it's more of that brown beige, I would describe it as. I cannot actually really find a description of this one online, but a little bit more of a brown beige, a little bit more of a neutral undertone, but still really beautiful. Really like that formula as well. It's not super matte on the lips, but again, it's not too creamy, it's not too slippery for me, which I enjoy. Next up, I have one from MAC Cosmetics. This one is in Whirl. So I first fell in love with the Whirl lip liner. It was my first lip liner I ever purchased from MAC. And we also have the lipstick in Whirl. This one gets a little bit on the darker side. And this one I have written down as described as a warm brown. So that one is from Whirl, so you can see that we're kind of getting into that deeper territory here. But it's still really beautiful. It almost has like a hint of like purple or maybe a little bit of like cherry to it. It's a really beautiful lipstick. Again, it's pretty dark on me, but sometimes that's what I want. And I think that that's a really good option to go for. The Whirl lipstick is once again a matte, which doesn't surprise me because that is my favorite. Next up here, we have another one from Ofra Cosmetics in their liquid lipstick formula. This is in Las Olas. This is a beautiful shade. I wore this a bunch in the fall time because once again, we're getting into a bit of the darker nudes for my skin tone. But in the fall, when I just wanted something a little bit darker, a little bit more almost on like the terracotta side, I went for Las Olas and I thought it was beautiful. This one is described as an amber brown nude. But again, I think that it has that hint of terracotta in there, which I love for the lips. I love for the eyes. I think it's really beautiful. But you still have your warm brown nude at the same time. Again, I really enjoy this formula from Ofra, and that is a beautiful shade. I just have two more left here. My right foot has fallen asleep, so that's a little awkward, but we're just gonna keep going. Next up, I have another one from Urban Decay. This is in 1993. This is another comfort matte. This one is described as a medium brown, and I also think that this one almost looks like it has like a hint of cherry to it as well, like a little bit of like purple or a little bit of red to it. So that very last one there, we're getting so crazy with these swatches, but that one is 1993 from Urban Decay. So again, this one is very dark on me, but sometimes I kind of want that, you know, like sometimes I just kind of want that edge with my lipstick. But this one is a really beautiful shade. I think especially on darker skin tones, I think that it would look really beautiful. And again, I do enjoy the comfort mattes from Urban Decay. The last one that I wanted to put in here isn't typically described as a nude, but I wanted to throw it in because I know a lot of people really like the shade Mom from Jaclyn Cosmetics, and that one was a little outside of the norm from what we were seeing. So the one that I pulled from my collection is one of the Nars Audacious lipsticks. Let me make sure I'm saying that. Yeah, one of the Nars Audacious lipsticks, and this is in the shade Anna. So I just have this little mini here, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch it. So you can see this one is more on the, can you see, Samantha? Can you? This one is more, let's just draw like a face on my elbow. So that one is more on the pink side. It's described as a smoky rose. So a little bit more mauve, a little bit more like a rosy mauve is how I would personally describe Anna. But I think that one's really beautiful. So if you're really interested in the shade Mom, I know I've also heard people say Urban Decay Backtalk is really similar. I believe that one is the comfort matte as well, where the Audacious lipsticks are a little bit more creamy. So if you wanted to have that shade, but you also wanted something similar in formula to the Jaclyn Cosmetics, I would check out the ones from Nars. I think that these are a really nice lipstick formula as well. But that is it for my 23 swatches. I'm going to try to hold my arms very awkwardly so I don't get a bunch of lipstick on me. But hopefully, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a very long time to put this together. I actually really liked this video even more than just kind of duping the 6 that I picked out from Jaclyn Cosmetics. It was really fun to pull out all of my lipsticks and try to kind of categorize them and try to put them in some sort of order that made sense for this video, and just researching you know, the descriptions and the undertones for these different shades and trying them all on and seeing what I think and letting you guys know what I think about the formulas. There's so many good lipstick formulas in here, whether it be cream, matte, liquid lipstick. There's so many good ones that I pulled, and this is just 23. I could have gone on for even quite a bit longer, but I tried to like pin it down to some of my like favorite shades or formulas, or ones that I thought would maybe be comparable once again to Jaclyn Cosmetics. So I really hope that you guys found this enjoyable. If you found any dupes that you want to share, or you just want to share some of your favorite lipsticks, please leave that for us in the comments. If you want to share this video, that would be awesome, because this one took quite a bit of time to put together. But thank you guys for your enthusiasm. I've been being asked so often since I posted that update video of when my, you know, dupes video or my lipstick video was coming, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this one. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy today's video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.